شلام لخون گشقان موقع به انا ایوان کارمن مورد قبول مشنق کلخون آلده سامت خورزد عشبته أخبضايتون أخرنجو شوتا بوتا كاويلان أرخد إقارة من سلطانة من حكمة قد رابقشيك بالخغ منه أوديو خا إقارة رابا جورا لقاتن قد أنا ودبرانت شوتا بوتا قبول بشنق ميغرا Couper Condit من Assemblyman Heath Flora's office. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
It's always a pleasure to have you, Couper, as you always accept our invitation when we invite you to come to the Assyrian American Civic Club, and of course, Mr. Sam David, welcome.
Thank you, Carmen. Shana.
وديو هم زمتم توي هم بليشانت جانا و هم بليشانت إنجليز سبب وديو هم زمتن إلى باس Census 2020 Census أقبضايتون جشن داور هم زمخ باز كما أنا قيت لقد أخنان آتراي عبيلا شمة وخالد جانن جدا قلونية وجو لا أخشي ستيتد كاليفورنيا إنا جو أطرت أمريكا وديو طلبا من دبرانت شو تابوتا ميقر سام ديفيد قد شقيلة لخامش تلانوتا جو Stanislaus County قد complete count committee ماروخ قد داخي أخنان آتراي خيانة دا قلونية شقلخ لأخيلة وعبيلا قالة بهيارتت خامن دنه مشتلانه قد إلم يقرأ Couper Condit. Mr. Sam David, would you like to begin a little greeting, and then we'll talk about the importance of the role that you have with the Complete Count Committee?
Yes, of course. بنيوم تيسوغل شلاما لوخن هيفي بنادي جدا دانت شيتا خطة كلوخن سلامتيتون كلوخن خود تيبرت دعلايتون بياين خشلاما دارن قد كل خا پرسوپا دامت کل پاتی بن قد جداق سامد دا قد تنخلقاتو خون مجد رابا واجب إلا مجد رابا ننقيت إلا قد أمتديان قد أطراي رابا ننقيت إلا عمدي أنا بخشابن قد ميقرتا كارمن وميقرا كوبر قد أما إلي وديو قد تمزوم غباسو باش مديا قد كل خا پرسوپا خيانة أطرد أمريكا چون رابا مديانا سيرنا بداها قد خرطها يدني أسراشنت بيتاينا أني مديانا كرمتي الخيوت كل خامنا طلبنا من يقرأ Couper خشتاما دارا لوخن Couper, would you mind saying hello to all the viewers and introducing yourself and your role in all of this?
Well, my name's Couper Condit. It's a pleasure and an honor to be here with you, as it always is, to be among friends in the Assyrian community. I'm the district director for Assemblyman Heath, Flora. He represents the 12th Assembly District. That includes Turlock, Modesto, a majority of Stanislaus County, and a portion of San Joaquin County. Really the breadbasket of the Central Valley here in California. And honored to be here to talk about the census a little bit, and some other things our office has been involved in to help the Assyrian community.
Thank you so much, Couper. You're absolutely right. Before we get to the census conversation, with your permission, Mr. President, I would like to share with our viewers a few of the very important project that Assemblyman Heath Flora's office, under your direction as the district director, has really been so instrumental to achieving these resolutions. And not only do you attend, and the Assemblyman has attended, different events that are important to our community, the established relationship that we have with your office, with you, Couper, it really shows that our elected officials are familiar with our strengths of our community, with our values, and of course the challenges. So I would like to begin with the very important August 7th, Syrian Martyrs' Day, a resolution that you were instrumental in preparing, that was presented at Stanislaus State University to really honor our martyrs. And this is an ongoing issue that is so important to our community. That was instrumental with what you did. And we've done it for 2 years now at Stanislaus State University. You also helped us with resolutions that had to do with Mr. Francis Sargis, with the Modern Assyrian Heritage Collection, but also individuals that we really truly honor in our community, which was the Assyrian Arts Institute. We had an arts exhibit 2 years ago that had to do with the Assyrian genocide. There was artwork that was displayed by Assyrian artists. And that is important. It really makes a difference. And it makes a difference in how we honor our identity in our community. So I would like to personally thank you for all the work and all the special attention that you pay to the special needs of our community.
Well, it's an honor to do it. I was taught at a young age that public service means something. And if you ever enter it, you represent your whole community. You never turn anyone away. And something I've realized is recognition of these special events or, days of remembrance, August 7th in particular, really have a special meaning to people in the Assyrian community. August 7th, that's something I know we all cherish and want to remember and want recognition for. And last year, we were able to talk to another assembly member, Nazarian, who's from Los Angeles, who is of Armenian descent, and Armenian genocide remembrance resolution. And in that resolution, he was also able to recognize the Assyrian genocide. And this year, we're pretty hopeful, working with him, that we're going to be able to have the Assyrian genocide recognized on its own by the state of California, which is not an easy task to get done. But we're hopeful, and hopefully by the end of the year it'll officially be recognized by the state of California.
Thank you, Couper. With your permission. كشخانة مغبة مدخورم واقع ميقرأ كوبر كونديت قد كما أنا قيتلا وكما أخنا انطنان منتخ أخا أمتا خيانة داقلونية وبيورخد شو تابوتد أتراي ترلاك كما شلان الشابير بيشنا تي الإيتوتا بخيارتد Assemblyman Heath Flora's office أو خود تايبرانتد ميقرأ كوبر كونديت خامنة إيوا خا resolution قد إلا من California State Assembly كل state at California قد مضيلة الفلوريد أسمبلي وبشلة متخرتة الإقارة سهدة أتراية وهر يومد إسري أربع بنيسان قد إلى يومد برام ألمد عربناية شمد أتراية بيشة متخرة قشيت داور وأشيتا خابل خانة رابع قشيتين بالديان أو بالكوبر كونديت أو Assemblyman نزاريان قد إلى خا ميقرا عربناية Assemblyman من لوس أنجلوس هردانا متخريقة شوان شابير خينة قد من Assemblyman Heath Flora's أخنان ميغ ألي توتا قيومة سهدة قد جوستانسلاس State University قبت صوبك ما يخلق لي توتا أخبدايتون بمتان أدخل شولانة كيجرشي بيرخيك بالخغلة لنا هسناي بتاينا ألي توتا وبغزايتون بعزة إنا رابق الشكاوخ بالخانة ألي أنا نقيت لقد يطيتون ولتشغلت قد أخنان إتلان إنا برسوب أخ كوبر كونديت قد برموينا قد مودي إلى أنا نقيت قومت أطوريتا قديا شولد أخنان ممطيق الدا درقة ليلة السناي سبب إتلان درقويلان بيتاينا بالخاننا من كونسولة تركيا من قرداية وخجة برسوب خينة إنا بخير على مناني لو غشية بالخانق أو إيواغ منتيانة ميقرأت هاي اتلو خبران خينة مادد مقام شارق بعد Census هم زمخ
باين مادن بنومتي قد مجد مارد أقبل إيواغ قد أجوان قام يقرأ كوبر كونديت قد بالخانة اللي جوا في سيد هيث فلورا كارمن متخرى على يوم قد خشتن كو ساكرامنتو كو أسمبلي كو ميدان أسمبلي مجلس خيوما رابا شابيرة إذا خيوما قد إذن تيلا الفلور يعني قد جاريقاتو راية بوتو ديفا أفوت باس بيلا كل بدلون كل سنيدالون يعني اللي بخامدي قد خابر سوبر مرلا خلطة لا لي قبل خلاص سو جات قامتها جواترد أمريكا ستيت كاليفورنيا بشتى قبلتها يوم السادة ديان ودسادة بشتى قبلتها ومتخرة قد إشي تذبت دو يبنوشو ومنيت قد بين مدن قاتوخون شق من دا شولا نقايا قد ساد ديان بيشي انتير دي دنيا هل ادي سريفوفا اتر تركيا سريفوفا ورابا ناشمانه بس نحن خن لتون الباتد ارا لتون سو مغزيلا ومزبط لنقاته قد لا اي ليله دوز اعمل دي دوزيله وميقرا كوبر همش الشركه اللي جو دي داناتد ريش نيسان ادان اخوان ريش شيت خطت اتوراي خدوتو ويا من جودني ميزلتا قد ويا لجو بريد وخمن بارسوبو ويا من افيزت هيث فلورا قد خا ريزولوشن يفيل قا سويراي قداد قد اتد اتور قد بشتلا مرمتا جدو يوما رابو مديانا بريشي قد هما شبيه للسندان ديان ومنتو بطانون انا كما قد قاتو برسو بايت بيران. I really appreciate you, Couper. I really thank you for all the efforts that you put out for our community and specifically for the Assyrian American Civic Club, which is the mother organization of all of the Assyrian organizations here in the United States. So خايما تبرر خشوت هبوتا قد إلى يدي هدد خايما قشوت هبيات خينه وهمش ده بيخ هوية لبيخ من ده درغب عشوت هبوتا باصورته هوية عديه إيمن بطلاب خامن دي يمن Assemblyman Heath Flora يمن Congressman قد بيشن بيه وجفتنم عديه إلى جاش هاردر لنا مقبول نومتي هيك دانا لنا مقبول وإن حقيات واجبين لازمين قاومت ديان وادانا كارمن متخرة قد Census قد أودي بمزمك بوزودا باسو أخذن بارسو بايت لبلان قد بايخ بيشخ بنيه من ياند آتوراي قد بخينا بايخ دوس هابه قد خيانة دقنونيانا وخيانة جدا آتر دميركا اتن حقيات قد من انويرنا بشنة زودة من اسريت لاي اربي شنة كم سنتانين قد مو لغيانا موديو لغ في تاما قد تانخ هي اخذن دا ايوخ وديوما انا جاني من جده كوميتي وهي باسم تمي خورتا كارمن دا الى جده complete count committee اها الى خوتي برانويتت ستانسلاس كاوني وبهيارتت Assemblyman Heath Flora بغزايتون بهيارتت Couper Condit خامني باين متخرن بلكت رابا من جشقانا لنا بدايو Couper Condit بلكت شمو خدشا هذا بتاعي الموقع ناتوخن شميتون سافونو إيفا جيري كانديت so ها جودمي إلى
رابا ويرة لباب نومتن
الدانو هل تبران داور أنا خدشة بيمشني لندي يا رابا إن تبران داور همشة كخقريبا قد جيري كانديت كما هيرانا بيلقى أمتديان قسوراي كل نعيد لا نجح لخا جوداق نونية إنا جو واشنطن هذا اللي نافيجو رابا بغداد.
Are you spreading rumors?
Yeah, I'm spreading rumors about who you are and that you're Gary Condit's grandson. And
yeah.
We're happy that you're here with us.
Yeah, and that's kind of my establishment into the Assyrian community, and gentlemen like Paul Warda, John Lazar. Were very influential in Gary's political career and have become great family friends. And Mayor Lazard and I talk often about politics, and the Assyrian community, I feel like, has accepted me and my whole family. They were with Gary till the end of his political career, and something that he never forgets and my family will never forget. The loyalty and the real respect the Assyrian community had for him.
Well, here's what I can tell you. The community and us, we're here to support you as well. So hopefully you have some ambitions and we can...
Aspirations.
Again, there you go, starting those rumors, Sam.
Thank you so much for that. Very nice and a lovely reminder of why it is what we do. And I am old enough to remember when Gary Condit was in office, and thousands and thousands of Assyrians had immigration issues, and it was that office that addressed and helped each and every one of them, and a lot of them remember that, and so do we. So as we continue with the new generation of Assyrians, and the work goes on.
Right.
So what we would like to talk about is the census today. The census is required, and it's charged by the Constitution of the United States for every 10 years for every man, woman, and child in the United States to be counted. That by itself is required by the Constitution. So it is so important, and I'm going to very briefly, before we get into the translation of it, and say why this is so important. It's all about allocation of funds and money to where we live and congressional power.
Yeah.
So it's money and power, basically. And we will be working, as Sam mentioned, the Complete Count Committee is a 17-member, very diverse representation of our entire community. We have the privilege of serving on that committee. We have an obligation not only to inform and educate members of the Assyrian community, to empower our own community, but also we have the obligation to be productive members and productive organization to help the entire community at large. Yes. And I think at this point, the Assyrian American Civic Club of Turlock has reached that point with the resources that we have available to us and with the established relationship and connections where we are given these positions and this responsibility that is so awesome. So today we're going to talk about that, and I will start with the translation to make sure that we have the complete attention of our viewers, and we have Assyrian and English-speaking viewers, so I want to make sure everyone's on the same page, with your permission. كشقان مغبي همزمتن أديو إلى بس census أجو constitution أطرت أمريكا بطلابلا قد كنت أرزا نقبة يلا السورة كل خيانة أطرت أمريكا جريك بيشي بنية بليشانت فرسك تنخل آمار إلى census إلى بنيانة قبنيتت كل برسوبة قد بخاينة إلى كت أسراشنة وكت شيتا قد برقتو إلى صيبر أسراشنة من قامدي أنا إتفالي إقارة قد بلخلي من census bureau وأشيتا وأسبر باين تنيان أخنن أخشوت هبوتا رابا بوش خيلانخ إتلان بوش رابا مشتلانوتا بأورخد برسخزوة برسقالة بأورخد newsletters بكت أورخد إلى أخنن بايخ مضيخ قكول بنومتن قد كما أنا نقيتلا قد أخنن آبخ شركاني جو خرزة خينة قد بتعتخ دابخ أولخا وأرخ بريش ميخ قد همزمتن شميتون لأيضيتون قامو أخنن أطراي جريك آبخ شركاني. Couper, is there anything you would like to add as far as the power districting and the funding that is so important that we as a region usually are disenfranchised with?
Yeah, we as an entire Central Valley region get left out of a lot of conversations at the state and at the federal level because we don't have the population size that LA or the Bay Area, San Francisco has. And that's why the census is so important. The Central Valley over the past 10 years has grown more than both the Bay Area and LA regions. And we want to make that clear, that we're not more cows than people. There's a lot of people here, good people, and we deserve our fair share of the resources. As for congressional representation, if you don't participate in this census, you run the risk of maybe losing a congressional seat here in California, which right now we got 53, we could have 52. When in fact, if everyone participated in this census, we could add a congressional seat. And you lose the funding as well. I believe it's almost $2,000 per person a year that you would lose if you don't participate. So over a 10-year period, $20,000 adds up for folks who don't participate. So that's another reason why it's so important that everyone fill out the census.
Sam, did you want to continue that conversation, or did you want me to translate?
No, I will continue and translate. كشخانة مغرب مقرطة كارمن متخرة قد يو رازريز يو Constitution أمريكا قد آمن دي إيلي جاري وديل وميقر كوبر قد همزومة و ماري لقد عادي إن برسوبت يبنو خون خاتوسة تانا خد شكل خلا أمديتا سورت ديان أمديتا ترلق تانا قد خيانة مديتا إنا معلبة إن سب كل ناش لنا مادوية جو سنسس لنا مادوية جانه سنسس قد أني بناينا مغزوي للشبيه البي سو قدين تلاقي البي شيتا $3 قا كت خناشة باسرويتا من بيام ديتها استيت أعزوي زبيتها من دولة من government سو جدا خوشبوين رابا الصورة تلاقي البي أدي ما تخلى $3 قا كد منه وعلى شتي مليونة قا أسراشنه وعلى شتما مليونة خم ديتا سورة تورلك بغزايتون قد كما رابلة كما أنا نقيتها قد كلن شركة ورابا من ديانا بشاميتون بين آمن ديدا تعنقاتوخون شوق من قد يعني كرسية قد إنا جو مجلس جو كونغرس أني سيرنا بدا خوشبوينة عادي وديوما كاليفورنيا تلا خمشي طلا شوبي خمشي طلا بارسوب أخ كونغرس ممبرز تلاقي كونغرس إن لا مغزي أني بناشد خيانة لخدوزي لا أي بلكت صليه هو يا خمشي تري يا خمشي خا إن مغزي بارسوب من ياند ناشدين بزودنا أي كمسة زيادة كمسة يا خمشي أربعة خمشي خمسة أنا همون قد رابا باسورة خشبونخ جو كد دن جماعات قد وايخ بغزايخ قد تلاين موند بناشويتا ليلة بشتبنيتا سو خاتوسا خينا يبنوخون أدي بلكت خاكل باد شون سنيقويات إتلا خيشنا قد خاهيرتا شكلي خيوتي بيتوتي كريه مغزوينا قد طلاقنا بخاينا قدو بيتها قد هايرتا شكليلة أي هيج خلطة لدبيو هايرتا لازمو خلنا أي جري هاوي لوخون إنا دام بيتالا دانت سنسز أسابر أي كلبت بزداي لما تاقد خمشاقنا بخاينا سو خم دي رابا أنا نقيتها لقد يطيتونا أمدي قد لخمتونا سنسز قد إيمان فرشوب بناينا إتلا خشات رابا خلنتها information قد أديو مبجميلة بناشوي تبانيلا أنا جري شدري لهم قا دولة أمريكا إنا خلي شدري لهم يعني ليه تعني مثلا جدابة توتا خمشا جناي بخاوة يا أربعة جناي بخاوة يا طلا جناي بخاوة أنا بتعني مثلا جمدية تورك خيانة إنا إمالبة من دنيا إمالبة خدخة منا إنا سوري خدخة منا إنا هسبانيك مكسيكاية خدخة منا إنا هندواية so information إما برخشة لطامة لنا يابقى هيتش department خيطة برشتة لبنوشو لا record قد مارو information قشوي تريشنة بتباي سيرة لمسي يبي لك خاد department يا department خيطة يا همزمي باسو ومدوي لقد اتنخا code title 13 US code قد كل بالاخت سنسس هيرانة سنسس قد إن خبرة بالت منن يمنو من بالاخي رابا خلنتا تنبئ تنقاتل خمشاشن إلى imprisonment يعني بتازي دوسق زندان وإتلا and or جريمة إتلا ترمو 50,000 قا كت خا برسوبا قا كت خا violation خا قوامتا so بوين خيالوخون راحت أودلون من دوغي بعد نجارن لعبيتون شركون أني 60 مليون قد همزو مغباسة تابي 8 مليون تخمنون كما هير تبدو يقام دي تترلق تخمنون كما programs بريشي كم سمدي تمية يو كاونتي مغزوي با شي تتريل بأسرة قد اتفا 540,000 برناشويتها. أنا دزوتها همون قد اتفا زودة من اجتماع برناشويتها. چون مغزوية أنا بلكن هل شبه ما البتفا إن غزيمون قدني إمو 84 برناشويتها تريل بكود من يقاس راشنك مزيانة خلطة لكاوني عين بتخاتها قد شولا دوزليل بيها بنيتها دوزليل بيها سو رابا أنا نقيتها لقد كل شركة إيكد إيباكيو أمريكا لانجا جدا قانونية إنه كل أطرا سنسس بدوديلا إتعادي أخنا بيخ شركة بقولت من دي بيتفق جدا ما يدا بس بتازق منه يبيشخ شوقيلا بهرتاما سو أنا نقيتها لقد كما شاركت دي واجبي.
Thank you, Sam. Couper, as President Sam David mentioned in Assyrian, I will repeat and translate in English. Code 13 of the Constitution is a very important part and code that has to do with confidentiality of the information collected. Every census worker takes an oath and is charged by this code to maintain confidentiality, and if that confidentiality is violated, if any information is shared, there's a 5-year prison term involved with that. And there's also restitution of $250 per violation. This is very important for everyone to know.
Yeah.
So the information
it's
that is
$250,000.
Is that what I said? $250,000, $250,000.
Yeah.
It's so important that people realize that, because when information is collected, it becomes statistics, and all of this information is put away for 72 years.
That's right.
In other words, we are asking for statistics. And going back to what Couper said, the Central Valley where we live, which is Region 4 of the middle part of California, which is 10 counties, as you said it so eloquently, we've always been left behind.
Mm-hmm.
There's many reasons for that, but we want to make sure census is not one of them. So when we are informing and educating the public and members of our community, for example, there are communities, residential communities and schools or faith-based or whatever that didn't exist 10 years ago. So we want to make sure that every housing community, the number of our seniors, the number of our children are recorded, and that simply has to do with if you have a community that has a certain percentage of seniors living in it, there are certain services that must be provided, whether it's housing, whether it's retirement homes, whether it's rehab facilities. This is why this becomes so important. Section 8 is another one. If we realize there is a lot of renters living in a community, more than homeowners, what does that mean? That means there has to be funding allocated for those communities. So I'm just kind of giving different examples of what Sam said recently about we want to make sure that we're not undercounted.
Absolutely.
And that undercounting means that we're not going to get the funding from the federal government, which I believe the total was $600 billion with a B dollars from the federal government. Those are the monies that will be allocated, and we want to make sure that we get our share.
Yeah, and the state of California last year had the foresight to acknowledge that, and that's why they put $90 million into this effort to try to get people to be knowledgeable on the census and how important it is. Because if we don't participate, we're going to get left out at the end of the day, and that's why it's so important for you to fill out the census and be a part, do your civic duty, and be a part of this process and be counted. This is your opportunity to be counted, so don't take it for granted.
Couper, I would like to start the conversation more focused on our community.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about how important it is for everyone to be counted, but as we know and as we have discussed with the Complete Count Committee, this information and this request of people to participate will vary community by community. There are certain things that will resonate with different communities, and I would like to start the conversation with the Assyrian community. As you are so familiar with the challenges that we have faced within the last, not just 10 years, but with the last 4 or 5 years, there is such a resettlement of Assyrians from our ancestral homeland. There is an exodus from the Middle East. This is such a unique opportunity for Assyrians to be counted to see, where do Assyrian Americans live in the United States? And this program will be seen not just locally on cable, but also on satellite television. So our conversation is a national conversation as well. It is so important for us to have this conversation, to inform and educate ourselves and the rest of the constituents of this entire census. And that has to do with, how do we fill out these forms? The Assyrian American Civic Club last time was a questionnaire center. And I believe from the last time they told us that they're really cutting down on questionnaire centers because there's different ways of collecting this information. This time in the state of Rhode Island, they're doing this by the internet. So you have an opportunity to fill this out via internet. You will get phone calls, and you will get something, a postcard in the mail. Now, I completely understand how people will say, well, I don't want to give out my information to just anyone. That's why these complete count committees are so important. They are trusted community leaders. They are, for example, the president of the Civic Club. We have community leaders from faith-based organizations. We have community-based organizations for the Latino community, the Sikh community, the Asian community. It is so important for all of us to collaborate and work together because we each have different needs. We each have different issues and values that are important to us. And I'm going to turn it over to Sam to talk about the importance of filling out a section that will help with the Assyrian community to be counted and how important it is for us. We have a sample of the questionnaires from 2018 that were put together. The one that I believe will get a lot of attention for our community, Couper, is 2 things. One, it has to do with race. The other one is the language spoken at home. As you know, one of the most important bylaws that we have within this organization, and every Assyrian, is preserve the language of the Assyrian language. So every question on this document that we have in front of us, it shows you what the question is, how to be filled out, and why that question is being asked, and what it means to the census collectors. So we have all of that information here at the Civic Club. Once you get your questionnaire forms, bring it here. We're going to have so many different forums. We're going to have designated times and venues. So whether it's all faith-based organizations, whether it's on campuses, we want to make sure everyone feels comfortable. So if they have any questions, if we have the answer, we'll share it with you. If we don't, we work very closely with census specialists, partners that come directly from the Census Bureau. So is there anything that you would like to add to that, Couper or Sam?
No,
The one thing I want to add excuse me, I want to say this in Assyrian. So يشخانا مغربي يقول لك كارمن متخرج census إتلا بقارة قد رابع نقايل كل أوترايت خيانة أمريكان أو بقارة إلى what is this person's race؟ على دان معليتون تاما إتلون مثلا خوارت كومت American Indian إيفت Chinese Vietnamese نلتلا Assyrian إن تاما جودية متيتون خوارة white ومتيتون مد لشانة همزوميتون. So for example مثلا دي ألماناي متي ألماناي إنجليسناي متي إنجليسناي إيطاليان متي إيطاليان إحنا بدمثل Assyrian تاما أي تخشوبها عادي خزيتون للسكرين قد إيكيلا ومومتيتون تاما قد راب راها توية أي أنا قايوتت قد أخنا ملايغنين أنا قايوتت فورمز ليتك شوب الجان وأخنا هم زملا بس باسو إن أنا قايوتت قا أمتديان إلى تاما متي السوريان لا متي العراقي باغ يد إيراني باغ يد سوريا قد لبنان أخنا خيانة تاما بيخ لخ بي لبناناي لخ بي إيراناي يا عراقناي أخنا أنا قيتي لقد أو شمت السوريان قد عادية هم زملا باسو you state assembly إلى السوريان كلا تخمنتن هم زمتن إلى أخناني وغاتوراي أني خطواتن أخواتن قد إنا كالدا ناي وبأني إنا كالدا ناي وب آتوراي أخنا دي وقت آتوراي وب كالدا ناي أخنا خا تايبخ so أي تايب أنا قيتي لأخنا تانخلا أي تايب لما زي دخلا إنا بي أو شما دي إلى دي السوريان so بس ما نخون كلوخن متيتون وايد و باكس ما خيتون لا إكس جابو وكتويتون خوتو السوريان أي كراب أنا قيتبتوية أي أدانا أخنا بيطر جو أتريد أمريكا كما دان السوراي بخاينا إن أو برسوبا إلي من إما خانمونا 1% إلى سورايا إن كامز مت السورايا أخنا نيشديان إلى آها قد إني هاقويات الباسوريات أمتديان أمسق ممليخلون بهيرتا خيلنتا من دا أترابريخة أمريكا.
Thank you, Sam. As Sam was explaining the importance of filling out the part that will be very important for Assyrians, we would like to know, for example, in the state of California, how many Assyrians live here and where? I think regionally it has a lot to do with it. A very good example of that is in the year 2018, we were so fortunate, and this was such an exciting thing, and I know, Couper, you were aware of it. We were able to translate voting ballots in Stanislaus County in the Assyrian language. And that only comes to fruition because of what? Because of advocacy, because of the number of registered voters has increased. And this is when enough attention gets paid to it. So we would like to know where Assyrians live in the state of California, the population, in what region, because that makes the difference with our congressional representation, assembly and senate representation. This also goes for Arizona. In the state of Arizona, there's a lot of Assyrians settling there, as you know very well. We also know in different states, in Detroit, in Illinois, but this is so important for us because, as I mentioned, through the last 10 years and 5 years, there is such an exodus for Assyrians. This is that unique opportunity for us to have a consensus on how we are going to be counted and the location and the region and how we can connect with our elected officials to make sure that they're familiar with the values and the challenges of the Assyrian community.
And that's another issue that our office was involved in with the county clerk's office, the registrar of voters, and the local Turlock DMV. We were able to get the driver's test translated into Assyrian language, which was a big feat, mainly because the state didn't realize how many Assyrians were in Turlock. So that's another reason why the census is so important, and that we have accurate information when you fill it out. When you write Assyrian for ethnicity or race, it's important. It gives us good leverage to go and fight for resources on your behalf.
Very well put. Thank you, Couper. You already are doing that so beautifully. We really are so lucky to live in this district, your district, and also it's not an easy task to do that, whether it's the DMV or the registrar office. But it is through this organization over 73 years, I want to say now.
Yeah.
I mean, our organization is growing and getting older. But I am so proud of the achievements and these established, trusted relationships that we have been able to do. And we see the results. So thank you so much for being here and reminding us of what it is that we need to continue to do. And Sam, in closing, do you have any thoughts that we can share with our viewers in English and in Assyrian so we can talk about what's next to come and how we will continue this conversation for the next 2 years?
Absolutely, yes. Neumti khabra Couper mere qed resources. Manay do khabra il dela anja zuiza in median khine qed qada umtidien sniqh alle هرتن يعني اتيانا تازا قد كريا دي رابطو مننا بزويتا كل كاليفورنيا كل أطرا سو اي كري اتلون هايرتا بي قبل امتدين قد هايري خاسامت كريا باريلا اتن مخلطة لتلون يعني خلط مخلطة ممتليلا programs بريشي إنا كل إلا باس زويزة أنا جدا قايد قد اتلان مدخول لقد كلنايد زويزة قد أطرد أمريكا بدار جوداها يؤطرق خامات الناشو هنا اشتموا شبي 5 بليون شيتا so تخمنوا قد كما أنا نقيتها كما أخذن مديخ منيان ديان بناشوت ديان كما إلى أزويزة بوزودة من دا زويزة بتأتي وبوش باسورة ليت so أنا نقيتها للمرة كل بتاعتي إن إيه سامت قد خشيخة لقى قد الناشدين كما جانا يتلان كما برسوك بخاينة أنا الرابع أنا نقيتها لقد عاملي كل دوس هذا ومي قلت كارمن متخرة أخنا نتابع قنترون داها شولا أنا اتلين كمبيوترز قد هدريخ أنا بيشي مبلغ لخا قد قدم برسوك قد بيانا هيرتا شنو قولوا لنا وبيشي هويرة قد أن كل بيشي مليقاته قد دوس هذه information دوس هويا so لا تخمنيتون لا مخبليتون احنا بيت الملد بيت ابتيخي لقد كل خامنوخون وبايا خابا خيران قد هوخون Census إلى خامن دي رابهم زمنا قد كما أنا نقيتها إنه دي بوش أنا قايل قاتن إلى قد هيج خاناشة لا بايش قد كل خابنا تديان بايش بنيا بايش خوش بنا وإحنا متى خيريات قاتوخون كو بيت شو تابوتا كو أمران بريشي أنا من خسيوت المرأة بارسو بايتهم زمن بداها وآتخ من ترابا سنيدولي وهمونا قد كل قاشن قاش بريشي دقنونية كل بداتي بتاوي سندانة شدان خامدي رابا واجب لقا قداء امتدين. I was just explaining that how important it is where this organization will be the hub. We have computers that we've brought in, so we'll set up like a mad lab, if you will, and help these individuals, show them how to fill out the forms correctly online. For those that can do it online, it's easier. And the data is sent in without having to worry about mail and things like that. So we will make this organization available over the next 2 years to make sure that every individual is counted. Not just for the Assyrian community, we will also be heavily participating in with the Sikh community, with the Latino community, with the Asian Pacific community, with the tribal communities. Our media will be available. We'll do all the public service announcements that are necessary in each language for each community. So we're willing to do that to make sure that the complete count is accurate. That's our commitment to this, and it'll continue to be over the next 2 years.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Sam. Beautifully put. In closing, Couper, do you have any thoughts? Because we will be inviting you again. We will have different topics that we'll talk about, and we'll make sure that we don't want to bombard too much information. This was just an introduction. Census Day is April 1st, 2020. But before that and after that, there's going to be a lot of questions that need to be answered and a lot of assistance that will be offered. Thank you again for being here, Couper.
Thank you for having me. And if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to call our office in Ripon, California, 209-599-2112. we're here to help you and help you navigate state government. Sometimes could be very complex, very bureaucratic. But our job is to make it less of a headache for you and to give you the service that you deserve. Assemblyman Flora was elected by the voters of the 12th District. And we believe that constituent service, providing that, is the most important aspect of being an elected official. So if you have any concerns, any questions, feel free to call our office.
Excellent.
Thank you, Couper. Any closing thoughts, Sam David, before we wrap it up?
نوم تيمدر تانوخون شولا إلى خامن شولان بوش واجب بوش أنا قايا قد قاعدة أمتديا قلبية لقاتن أنا كم ستانا بكت كتني ترماشين وديو ما أخلن شوقت أقلن إلى قدات بريخة أمريكا وديو إلى خاهدام الدابتا أنا هم شكتان لخ لا جري خير يو أمريكا أخ أرخ جري خير أخ مارد بيتا و هاوی باسیمه اتاربتی خونه قطن ابساسا یووانا قطن قد اخلن قیانن تیبره سو علیه دانیلا بطلاب من کل خامنو خون قد تیمون جمع غلوی دانه تیمون ایده دوغ درانا مخخ اهم اکمل اخلا واجبویتن و دخلا قد قخارتن رابا بوش سپای هویه شوق من ده لن همون خمدی بوش انا قای هاوی كويدن قمايتن قد أدي أخنن جري تكبر أخل أهم كل خامندي بوش أنا قايل.
باسي مرابا, thank you again. Couper Condit. كشقان موقع بعدي بتاعي الختام دا خرزد همزمت 2020 Census. بشمیتون بجرابا باز دا همزمت جو خرز خینه پوشم شلامه.